Welcome to Cheesecake Nation. I am Dave. Judge is a little off camera, but feel free to comment in on anything I say. You know, we're doing a late little session of videos, and you know that takes energy. So I'm gonna leave this one off and start out with a little bit of wrestling talk. And the first topic we're gonna do today is my thoughts on the Warrior Award. I'm gonna explain it a little bit just in case you missed Raw. A little bit of backstory on at least what I thought it meant and my thoughts on the recipient himself. Alright, so last year during the Hall of Fame ceremony, Ultimate Warrior had this great speech, and part of it was talking about how a lot of people who don't exactly get the recognition of being like a top star in the WWE deserves to get a Hall of Fame nod. And I very strongly agree. There's a lot of production side. Jim Johnston, who does the music for WWE, definitely deserves to go in the Hall of Fame someday. Like, there's people that make the show what the show is, and there's no reason that just because they're not a top star, they don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But the way they're doing it this year is the first Warrior Award recipient is going to be Connor the Crusher. And I'm going to admit, when they did the little video package, I was misty-eyed. You know, it was a great thing. And I think it's a really good thing WWE's doing, you know, honoring them. I know there's a little bit of controversy about it, because they're like, well, why this kid over all the other Make-A-Wish kids and stuff like that. And I think it's just, he's in the video packages, but it's for the charity pretty much. So I'm not too you know, engrossed in that controversy. I think it's fine either way. I really think it's a good idea. I do worry about it becoming very political very quickly, where you see like the breast cancer people getting the award and just like all troops get the award, and it's just like so they can try to open up doors, and I worry about that. Because when I saw Warrior's speech, and like at least what I took from it, it sounded like he was talking more about like people who work for the WWE. You know, road managers, like those kind of people, like the people you never really hear about, and they deserve to go in the Hall of Fame. Like Teddy Long. Let's say if Teddy Long had never became the SmackDown general manager and got famous from all that stuff, everything else in his career definitely belonged in the Hall of Fame. His job as a manager, his time as a referee, like, he was just an important part of the company, and he was there for a long time. Something like that. Like Charles Robinson, another referee. He's been in wrestling probably as long as I've been alive, in all honesty. And I think whenever he decides to hang up the old striped shirt, he should definitely get a Hall of Fame nod. And I think that's what the Warrior Award should have been. You know, these kind of people that don't get the recognition, and you just... They're the kind of people you could cut their speech from like a network airing of it. Obviously, you leave it on the network. But like if they were going to like do a replay, you know, 3 weeks later on USA as a special like 1 hour presentation kind of bullshit. Like those are the kind of people you could cut the things, just because it's not exactly something like I would do like, he won this award, this is who he is kind of thing. And that way like you could leave room for some of the other speeches. But I think with that, I'm going to go into one more topic and then wrap up this little video, is my thoughts on the people going to the Hall of Fame this year. Macho Man, I don't think there's an argument. Great pick. Great headliner. Bushwhackers, I'm okay with Bushwhackers going in, as long as WWE acknowledges they're not really going in as the Bushwhackers so much as they're going in as the Sheep Herders, where what they were doing on the AWA, NWA scene. And like, because they were really badass tag team. Bushwhackers was kind of more like later in their career, kind of jokey, having fun, making a little bit of money. I understand WWE putting in guys under their names, and I'll get on to that with another person later on. Like, they did Scott Hall's Razor Ramon. I really enjoyed the gimmick Razor Ramon. I thought it was really cool, really fun. But, I mean, if you're going to talk about who did more in wrestling, it's Scott Hall. I mean, the influence of the NWO. Another one that kind of some people have an issue with, I don't so much, is Rikishi. I know it's political. I mean, they're Usos were like, we want our dad in the Hall of Fame, and he's keeping his nose clean. He's not doing anything wrong. I'm sure he does some good press for WWE. He was solid, very over guy in his time in WWE as proper, like as a wrestler. I feel it's weird though. Like I kind of feel the only way I'm okay with Rikishi going in is if they get too cool to induct him. I mean, they don't have to say a whole lot. I know they have a really good relationship with Scotty 2 Hotty. I'm not sure so much on Brian Christopher. He left kind of under less than great terms, but I'm sure at this point, I'm sure he could come in, just Rikishi, everyone. Rikishi can go up there, cut a promo on his family, all that good stuff. Get his award. I mean, I have no issue with it. He's a, middle of the Hall of Fame kind of guy. You need those people. I mean, you can't have all like top tier Hall of Famers. You got to make those last. So I have no issue with it. I know it's political and it doesn't bother me. Arnold Schwarzenegger for the celebrity one. Of all the celebrities in the Hall of Fame, he's probably the most deserving, in all honesty. Like, he's done a lot with people in wrestling. When you look at, like, Predator had Jesse Ventura. He made appearances on Raw multiple times. I mean, he's obviously a wrestling fan. He's a huge celebrity, no matter what you think of him acting skill-wise. So I have no issue with him. Are there other celebrities who I think need to go in? Yes, there's definitely some. And, sometime later I'll make, some nice lists out of who I think needs to be in the Hall of Fame. And see if I can kind of do a little bit of investigative journalism and see if I can kind of figure out why they aren't in the Hall of Fame. Whether it's just, this is a headline person, they just need their year to headline. Or if there's an actual reason. So, trying to remember some of the other people. Alundra Blaze, Medusa, great pick. Huge fan. She's my number 2 of all time for women's wrestlers. Her impact on wrestling, and then becoming a female monster truck driver, like that's really fucking cool. And I guess, she's doing really good with her life, which is really nice to see. Because there's too many women who get out of wrestling and, their lives are just messed up. It's nice to see, I think she's got a son, she's married, just doing good stuff. And I definitely love to see that. I think there's probably 2 more spots left in the Hall of Fame. And I know a lot of people seem to think Kevin Nash is one of them. I'm not a big dirt sheet kind of guy. I just kind of do message boards and see what people are thinking. I think he could be a nice bookend to Savage, because they're both huge names. And I think they're probably going to wait a year and do Sting and Taker in the same year, probably next year. And they'll both do dual retirement matches, no matter who wins, last shootout at the ranch. No one walks out whole kind of thing, and then both of them retire and co-headline the Hall of Fame. There are a few people though that I think definitely deserve. I could definitely see them going in kind of smaller. Like one of the big ones I always think of is Vader. Why is Vader not in the Hall of Fame? Like, from what I understand, everybody seems to like Vader. Like, he's a nice guy. He's not doing anything crazy with his life. And I think, like, he's legit enough where no one should ever have an issue with Vader going in. And on, like, the same token, he's not such a giant name in American, like, professional wrestling where he is going to take away. And one of the big pluses, he's still alive. Because I know that's an issue right now. There's a lot of people I think should be in the Hall of Fame that aren't in there. But you don't want Randy Savage going in, after his death and then having multiple other people that are also dead. It just doesn't look good. It sends a bad message during the Hall of Fame. It's not a happy thing, and Hall of Fame should be happy. I know a lot of people think Miss Elizabeth should go in, but the end of her life, if you haven't looked into it, I would check it out. I mean, it wasn't good stuff, and I don't know who would accept it for her. I mean, you could say Lex, but a lot of people in WWE blame him for her death, So it definitely wouldn't be him. It would be weird for, like, the Poffos to accept it, in that Randy remarried. He has a wife. or he had a wife. He has a widow now, and like that would be weird to give her husband's ex-wife's like Hall of Fame ring. I don't know, like the family side of Miss Elizabeth. I assume she has to have some family left, but you know, I think she will always be in the Savage pictures, because I think whenever WWE gets around to building the physical Hall of Fame, you're going to have major stars like to get their own wing. Like, there's no way you can just have like one picture of Hogan or one picture of Austin. You know, you're going to get a huge display, Flair, multiple robes, multiple pictures. The WCW title, the NWA title, as some people call it, Big Gold. Like, that'll be in there displayed. You have the Wing Eagle with Austin and all his vests and stuff. You'll have, you know, Savage will definitely have one with all of his robes and his various titles and stuff. And so I'm not too worried about that. But with that, I'm going to wrap up this video, guys. We got a couple more topics we'll do, but I think it's going to be easier for you guys to follow that. I'm Dave. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.